Good day everyone, this is Erica Conde. Today we'll be discussing about an important financial metric known as the return on total assets or ROTA. So ROTA is a key indicator used by businesses and investors to evaluate a company's profitability and its efficiency in utilizing its assets. So before we dive into the details deeper, I will first introduce you to my group mates or my co-reporters. So first we have Miss Glipa or Miss Zyra Marie Glipa, and she will be talking to you guys about when is ROTA or return on total assets used. And next we'll have Mr. Justin Carl P. Vergas, and he will be giving you guys some examples later on. So what is ROTA or return on total assets? So ROTA is a financial ratio that measures a company's ability to generate profits from its total assets. So it is defined as the ratio between net income and total average assets, or the company's financial and operational income the company receives in a financial year, as compared to the average of that company's total assets. In simpler terms, it assesses how effectively a company can use its resources to earn money. So that is what is ROTA or return on total assets. Now I will let Miss Zyra Marie Glipa to talk to you guys about when is ROTA or return on total assets used.
Alright, let us now talk when we use the return of total assets in ROTA. The return of total assets shows how effectively a company uses its assets to generate earnings. Yes, the term return in plural asset means profit, returns, and appreciation of a business or an investment. The ROTA metric can be used to determine which companies are reporting the most efficient use of their assets as compared with the earnings. Let's say it can measure amount of gains, a profit, performance of a business, investment, or an asset over a period of time. The return on total asset is calculated by dividing the profit or gains made over the period of time by initial value or cost of the asset, and it's typically expressed as a percentage.
Hello and good day. I'm Justin P. Vergas. I'll be talking about the return on total assets ratio. But instead, I'll give you the formulas and some examples to have a preference or a reference rather when you're answering some accounting problems. So without further ado, I will now give you some examples as well as the formulas needed to answer them. So this would be the first example. So this is the given. No, you have given the income statement and the balance sheet. So when you see this financial statements, it only have 1 year for reference. So the formula that you need is this formula. Return on asset ratio is equals to net profit over total assets times 100. So no, um, you need net profit and total assets. Therefore, the financial statements that you need is the income statement as well as the balance sheet. This way, you can get your net income, and your total assets, so that you can find your return on total assets ratio. So, nana siya. So let's start answering the return on asset ratio of Dr. Nick Marasigan, MD. So let's start. So let's find the net income here, which is 220,333.33 pesos. So changing screens. So you have your net profit, which is 220,000. 333.33 pesos. Then your total assets, which is 2,058,333.33. So copy total assets 2 million rather 50,333.33. So now that you have found the given, no, you can now then substitute for the further corresponding representation. So your net profit is 220,333.33 over your total assets, which is 2,058,333.33 multiplied by 100. Why multiplied by 100? It is because the ROA is percentage. So you need to get the percentage. So you can now then use your scientific calculator in order to solve the equation. So 233.33 divided by 2,050,000. So it will give you roughly 10.70%. So the ROA of Dr. Nick Marasigan, MD, is 10.70 or 10.7 or 10.7, 10.7%. So that is the first example and the first formula for the rate of asset ratio. Next one is so we need to find the rate of asset ratio of the VNS law firm. So given in the problem, in the income in the financial statements, there is two years for the balance sheet, and the income statement is for the year 2023. Since you are given the 2022 data, or the closing uh, for the closing period, no, you need and you are finding the rate or the return on total asset ratio. So what you need, no, you don't need to get only the total asset of this, but rather you will get the average of both. So this would be the formula for this. So instead of using um, ROA is equals to net profit over total assets times 100, you will use this formula. Return on assets or return on asset ratio is equals to the net profit over average total assets times 100. And then in order to get your average total asset, you will get the sum of your closing and the opening total assets, which is the total assets for the last year and your total assets for the current year divided by 2. So this formula is the one that we are going to use whenever the financial statement put 2 years in the problem. So we will now then solve. So here is the solving. So return on asset ratio is equals to net profit over average total asset times 100. Since we are not given the average total asset, we will be the one who find the average total asset. So this would be the formula for average total asset. It is the closing total asset plus the opening total asset over 2. So we have been given the closing and the both closing and opening total asset thanks to the financial statements that have been given. So what you only need to do is to substitute. So the closing total asset, which was the total asset on the prior on the last year, which is 870 million pesos, and then the opening asset total asset, which is the 930. So one is sila 870 plus 930 over 2. So 870 plus 930 is equal to 1800 over 2, which would equal to 900. So nanakay your average total asset ratio, which you can use here na diri. So after that, substitute. Your net profit was 45 million. So here in the income statement, your net profit is 45 million pesos. So you are just going to use that information and put it in the formula. So 45 over 900, which is equals to 0.05 times 100, which would then equal to 5%. So the return on asset ratio of the V&S law firm is 5%. So that would be all for my reporting. And thank you, and thank you for listening thoroughly.